5, huh?
Cups were carried by the clergy to represent the chalice that Christ passed at the Last Supper, his last great act of love. In today's playing deck, it is the 5 of hearts. This man has spilled 3 of his 5 wine goblets, our hearts being all of that is of emotional value. It does symbolize regrets as he is cloaked in the cloak of mourning and looking at what he has spilled rather than what he has.
So, how is this done? Can you do like a simple reading?
That is a broad question. There are many spreads from the simple to the extremely complex. The simplest is a single card draw. It may talk about the day or maybe even the week. It may even just talk about something that has been on your mind. Other simple readings are answered questions, as it usually takes only 4 cards to answer most questions, although some require a full 10 cards, which is my standard reading is the 10-card Celtic cross spread. A general reading, it takes 10 minutes.
Yeah? Okay, let's do it.
Shuffle them up. Any way you like, as many times as you like.
Okay, I trust him. The universe is abundant.
All right. The 10-card Celtic cross spread. This is the general reading. You have to be open to what it has to say, for it tells you what you most need to hear. Nice. Cups play a large role in your life, don't they?
I guess.
Do you find yourself more emotional or more logical? More prone to passion or more prone to reason? What we usually see in the crux of the Celtic cross is something wonderful blocked up by something terrible. Not so with you. You have a wonderful interior and a wonderful exterior. You have worked on both the inside and the outside of your house. Very good to see.
Thank you.
All of the other worries will appear in the periphery. The 2 of Cups. This is a card, especially in this deck, that is excellent for friendships or business partnerships. Any place where any 2 people agree or any 2 people share. It's also a good card for healing, thus the Caduceus. However, I also love the way this card is depicted in the Mary Hanson Roberts deck. It's one of the more romantic cards in that deck. These 2 people, a man and woman, gazing deeply into each other's eyes with arms intertwined, drinking of each other's goblets. It's also pretty awesome where relationships are concerned. In fact, I would say it is even better than the lovers, which is actually better for sex. Crossed by the Queen of Cups. Now I have to use the king and the queen as antithesis for each other. Where the king is usually depicted tightly gripping his goblet and scepter, he represents anywhere between emotionally withholding and emotionally stuffing. You do neither of those things. You let it all hang out.
Yeah.
The King of Pentacles. What you have to build upon, your foundation, if you will. He talks about work habits, work ethic. Note the freshly plowed field behind him. This is a card that says you have done a lot of the hard work. What you need to do now is watch the garden grow. It does sometimes come up to say that you could be in danger of overdoing something. The Temperance card comes up in the position of hopes and fears.
Yeah.
This is the card of patience, 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 and more patience. Pretty easy to see how and why that comes up in the position of hopes and fears. It's composed of all the things that make you want to clench your fists, grind your teeth, and get it over with already. However, on the hope side, it does mean that there is something on the other end. The Four of Cups comes up in the position of the immediate past. When we talk about the immediate past, this is anywhere between yesterday and the last year or so. Sometimes it's a bleed-out effect for 3 years. Well, this man is sitting in this tree, under this tree, in dejection, because he is focused on an empty space where he perceives that a fourth cup ought to be. This card here, yeah, I'll go looking for an ace. Pretend that this is not a pentacle in this hand, but a cup. It is the card. This card would say your heart's desires in hand if you had adjusted your focus, which is what it seems you are doing now, is adjusting your focus toward these cups. Which leads to the Nine of Cups in the position of the immediate future. Okay, this is the card that nominally says the immediate future over the next year or so is a really great time to celebrate. It's a really great time to even party your ass off. It's a great time to act the fool. However, the Knight of Pentacles coming up here, remember that you are also in position of overdoing things.
Oh, yes.
The Two of Pentacles sits in the position of how other people view you. Finally, something simple. Pentacles. In some decks, this is the suit of coins. In today's playing deck, it is the suit of diamonds, all that is of material value. This is simply financial ups and downs, financial upsets, or chaos, I think, is more apt here. You don't have financial problems. Finances come, finances go. No problem.
No problem.
This is another card that is in celebration, sitting in the position of how you view yourself, but this is a better cause than the party your ass off card. This is a card that is in celebration of all that in life that is feminine, life itself, love, laughter, art, beauty, our mothers, our daughters, our sisters, our lovers. Is there something more to be said about that? Not that. Well, that would have been within the next three, but... Okay. Gird thy heart, but not thy loins. The Star, speaking of, comes up in the position of the outcome. As a direct result of the sharing of your heart that you are doing now, you are making you are reaching out to someone, I think. This is a card, Ishtar, where the word star comes from. This is the Sumerian goddess of love, sex, beauty, fertility, and such. Sometimes she'll understand she is also the goddess of war. There will be times where ass-kicking is necessary. However, feel free to indulge yourself, is what this card says. And it says something else. While she pours the water into the pool, the water that she pours on the land seeks its way to the pool. A lot of people are not quite understanding what they're saying when they say water seeks water's level. Most roundly, all paths lead to the same location. You're finally going to start decide to do it the easy way. And the Knight of Cups comes up in the position of the overview or the final message. You have become an ambassador. Consider him the ambassador of the deck. His horse stands all polished up at parade rest. He has these mercurial symbols of communication about him. He holds his cup or his heart forth at this stream, this border between two very different lands. You're becoming the person who says, this is how I feel about this. You used to say, this is what I think about this. Now you're saying, this is how I feel about this. And it has made a difference.
Yeah. It has. I prefer.
I hope this was helpful.
It was very helpful. Thank you.
And sometimes the best way to explain how it is done is to do it.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you very much. Shadow?
Shade.
Shade.
When my father in spirit found me, I was barely a shade of myself. I was headed down the path of any other drunk punk, but I wasn't like other drunk punks because I didn't like punk music. I liked the moody blues, and I didn't like raging parties. I liked to build a campfire and drink wine.
That's a lot of fun. Hey, listen, thanks a lot, man. It was really a lot of fun. And,
it was.
this is going to be a really great interview for Slab City Local. So, Shade, how long you been doing this?
17 and a half years.
Wow, man, that's a long time. I've been doing my hobby for a long time.
It could be argued that since I was raised into such traditions, however, that it has been a lifelong study and will continue to be.
Yeah. So, What do you think of Egypt?
Egypt as it was, or Egypt as it is?
As it was, the astrology phase of it.
One of the most magical renaissances probably to have happened on Earth. Much could have come of it, if not for the coming of the Dark Ages.
Yeah.
But it seems to me that every great age, or every great year on the galactic calendar, is everything comes to an abrupt end, and a disastrous end.
It seems that way. Well, it just goes into the new thing. We just go with the ride, you know? Like, now we're coming into the age of Aquarian, you know? And everything is really changing. We're watching things just close down, and something is evidently opening up. It's very clear.
Yeah. And my sister is always the one to speak to on these matters, she being the astrologer of our family, though I do practice amateur astrology at best. There's too many things I would like to be able to blame on the stars, but then I'm always reminded of Shakespeare. The fault lies not in our stars, dear brothers, but in ourselves. Is it the time of year, or is it the time of man?
Yeah. So are you just traveling on foot?
I've been through a couple of cars in the last 3 years already.
Yeah, I went through a few cars too. Got the crystal ball.
I wonder how that crystal ball will appear through that lens.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious about that.
Who knows, you may have reinvented the telescope.
Yeah, that's a pretty nice one.
It is pretty dinged up anymore. It's seen some hell.